7:40 coming up towards 7:41 in Trinidad and Tobago. Well, apart from everything else, 'tis the season for some serious cooking and therefore serious eating. We've had Chef Jason Peru on the show sharing some of his knowledge with us earlier during the pandemic. Well, now he's expanding his base even further with his book entitled The Impregnation of Flavour. Sounds like a scientist talking there as we see him in a book signing at a particular location. It's described as a meeting point of international culinary concepts with Caribbean ingredients and staples. It's available at the Candice Mohan Salon TT at 1 Woodbrook Place. Chef Jason joins us now. He's very much in demand this morning, Chef Jason. Good of you to take the time to be with us.
Thank you so much, Fazeer, for having me. It's always a pleasure to be with my fellow brothers and sisters here on TV6. Thanks again.
Good to have you with us. So first and foremost, apart from the physical location, where can people get the book?
Apart from the physical location, you can also log on to www.chefjasonperu.com. When you go onto that website, there's a form to fill out that gives you your name, your phone number, your address, as well as your zip code and any pertinent message. And that, I then take that information, goes into a database, and we then ferry it either locally or internationally. So with the whole COVID aspect, people, are not coming out that much again. So you could, if you're in Chaguanas, Penal, Princeton, Tacarigua, anywhere, we send it for you via courier. If you're in Belgium, we've sent to Australia, Switzerland, New Zealand, Ireland. We've sent to Canada, United States, anywhere in the world, we are getting it to you. Just fill out that form on www.chefjasonperu.com.
And what distinguishes this book? What makes it different? Because we've heard about different flavors being introduced in different menus and all sorts of things. What distinguishes this book?
Well, there are a few things. Obviously, this has been hard work put forth within the past 18 years of my career. I've been documenting, putting down my culinary formulas, secrets, and putting it together. This is what something people always say, I make food very affable, attractive, and approachable. And one thing that stands out is the methodology. It's very explicit. So it's not leaving you guessing. You follow step by step. I always say that. So when you read anything from me, whether it be my book or watch one of my shows, you should look like a rock star at the end of the day. So whether someone like you who is a professional wares washer, Fazeer, as you've told me, you would be able to follow any of these recipes and you would look like a star at the end of it. The photography is epic. I've had world-class photographer and ace lighter, Russell Dos Ramos, work on all the photography in it. I've also had 6 other designs design the book. It is produced locally and printed here locally also by Inayats. So it is 100% Trinidad and Tobago and produced by Chef Jason Peru, a Trinidadian and a Tobago guy.
And you said that even I could do it. I challenge you on that, because you really know who you're dealing with.
You can do it. You can do it, trust me. I have faith in you.
Because is it really step by step? Because sometimes you watch these ingredients. I look over my shoulder when my wife and daughters and things doing the thing. Sometimes there's a pinch of this, a dash of that, a smidgen of this. What is a smidgen? What is that?
A smidgen is just
That is a big help.
So this is the cover of the book here, Fazeer, as you would see it. The Impregnation Flavor, high gloss, perfect quality. But if you look at this, right, this is a recipe for my garlic and Portugal chicken. Beautiful stuff. And if you look at the methodology on the other side, it breaks it down step by step. The ingredients are not very difficult to find. They're all local ingredients, but they're adapted to an international practice or concept. So at the end of the day, pretty much, you have an idea of an international recipe using local ingredients. And that's what makes the book spectacular, marvelous, and in my feeling, omnipotent.
The way you do your finger, I'm surprised you didn't say bellissimo and rest that on us one time. But what would have brought, clearly this is the culmination of years of effort and so on. Was it precipitated as well by COVID-19 and the experiences you've had in relating to people finding ways to cook at home?
This was supposed to actually come out the first week in April of 2020. As you know, I spent my first week in April probably speaking to you about guidelines for COVID-19 from a current
blame us then for delaying it.
It got staggered a little bit, obviously, because the social distancing, the photography, and all these things, we could not go out and do it. So it did, but at the same time, everything happened for a reason. Everybody started to cook, as mentioned, for Fazeer. And the thing about it was that, obviously, the book started to become a demand. People started to ask for it. Hey, I wish I had your book right now. I'd have been cooking at home and the restaurants were closed down. So I decided to bring it out around Christmas time when a lot of the restrictions were lowered. And we finally got it outside there. So yes, COVID definitely was a catalyst coming out this year.
How adventurous are you with flavor? The reason I ask that is because sometimes, people prefer to go more the traditional route. Others decide they're going to experiment a little bit. For example, over the last few months, I decided to try olives with watermelon. Because it's sour and sweet and so on. And it got to the point now where when I have an watermelon by itself, it feels boring. But tell us about the adventures with flavors.
Well, the thing about it, Faz, is basically that I'm a bohemian when it comes to flavors. I believe that you can marry sweet with savory, spicy with salty, a little bit of sour inside there. And our palate is not meant to be adjusted to that in Trinidad and Tobago. We're accustomed with something just being savory. It is either savory or sweet. And this opens up our palate. So basically, when I'm documenting these recipes, I'm getting people to try it. I'm not going too bold and saying that you need to add sugar or cherries to this. I might just say the cranberries, when added to the fried rice, would add a slight undertone of sweetness to help push the savory flavors up. So you're getting an educational process at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, when you speak about the impregnation of flavor, people always say food is flavorful, it's tasting good, but then that is just what it is, just flavorful. Then I'm just falling to something that is mediocre. How do I then add flavor to make flavor even more flavorful? I impregnate it with flavor. I add it inside there. I allow it to really get bounded with that. And I think that is what makes our Caribbean nationals so vivacious and vibrant, is that we speak about food. It's colorful, it's flavorful, it's spicy, it has attitude. And with this book, I make it affable, palatable to everyone. The impregnation of flavor. That is what the experience is about.
And you often hear the critics saying that our food is like who we are, loud and in your face. But there are others who say, what about subtle? What about delicate? What about just giving you that balance that makes you wonder what it is you're actually tasting and that sort of thing?
Everything in life is always a great balance. I mean, at the end of the day, if you live a very high-paced, fast life all day long, you're going to get old and tired at the end of the day. So everything is in balance. This book has a perfect balance. So you get appetizers, you get salads, there are health aspects inside there, there are main courses, there are desserts, there are the essentials. So you have straight in the middle of the book, Fazeer, you have a big red section, which is basically red, white, and black. That is Trinidad and Tobago cuisine inside there, our Caribbean cuisine also. They always say you could find a Trini in the middle of everything. So that's straight in the book. But at the same time also, you move across here and you have something that is Caribbean smoked salmon, showing you how to cure and smoke your salmon on your own. And you move to the back now, and then you have molten chocolate lava cake. So it's a great experience of balance. At the end of the day, you have nice, hefty Caribbean-based dishes inside there, international concepts with local ingredients, something for the sweet, something for the savory. And what makes the book or makes it stand out is that there are stories inside there behind each recipe, what my inspiration behind it, what made me come up with it, are there any jokes behind it? So these stories make me vulnerable at the end of the day because they speak about all walks of life, my schooling, my university days, my childhood, when I'm shooting my shows behind the scenes. So you get an experience when you read a book. It's not just a recipe book, but you see pictures of me back in the day when I'm a little child with my mother, all these things. So I'm making a book very palatable for everyone too. More or less.
It's very much like a live journey, and looks a pretty weighty publication as well. How many recipes do you have? How many recipes do you have in the book?
You have a little less than 220.
220 recipes. Sounds as if it should be quite interesting.
The book is actually 2 pounds, 2 3/4 pounds at this point in time. It's action packed. It is heavy. It has a lot inside of it. It goes for 400 TT at this point in time. It is high quality. It is binded. It is stitched. The quality of the photos are amazing. It's mesmeric. Of course, pictures sell food in a book. So it's top quality stuff. It's the new culinary staple here in Trinidad and Tobago. We have not had a cookbook for the past 22 years. This is what Trinidadian and Tobagoans should be proud of, or any Caribbean national. It is the new culinary staple in our land.
I wonder if you're more salesman than chef this morning, but you're doing a really good job in that regard. But Jason, before we go, and again, it's always good to have you with us to talk about creativity with food and menus and so on. Just remind everybody very quickly how they can access the publication.
Again, first and foremost, if you physically want to pick it up, you come down to 1 Woodbrook Place at the Candice Mohan Salon. Her number is 701-8980. Or you go to www.chefjasonperu.com. You fill out that form, and it will be delivered to your home both locally and internationally. or hit me up on social media at chefjasonperu.com or at Chef Jason Peru on Facebook, whatever, Instagram, and I'll guide you.
Jason, as always, thanks again for being with us,
But
and we'll look forward to see. And I'll really try my best to check it out and see if even I could actually make some headway with those recipes. Thanks very much for joining
tomorrow
us.
can come in the studio. I'm going to cook up a storm, but maybe later on.
Maybe next time. Thanks very much once again. Take care. Jason Peru here with us, and indeed presenting a challenge in many ways with this new publication. Remember, just last week we had Miss Singh with her book as well, with a number of different recipes. So lots of opportunities for you out there with these culinary publications. Well, as we go to the break, here's an image by Donna of Morva, which she calls a wow moment. Do you go wow when you see this one? Well, maybe, but it is a nice image, a pleasant image. Nevertheless, thanks very much for that, Donna. We'll be right back.